It's not something I'm investing in or I'm really going long on. I'm playing it as a short squeeze setup. And I think without a doubt, with the institutional presence, it just makes sense. And you look at all the big names, BlackRock, Vanguard, UBS, State Street, Dimensional, Rentec, you have everyone, Goldman, right? They all own a good amount of stock. And this ticker has been beaten down tremendously, which brings me into my next point, the short interest and overall insider ownership. So we see here, right, 46% institutions own, 22% for the insiders. I don't know if that number is 100% accurate. According to FinViz, that is the data. That would be around 70% of all the stock is restricted. So of this float of 60 million, how much is in the free circulating stock that the people like us can trade? It has to be very low. So when we're looking at 9 or 10% of the float, what is it really of the free circulating supply? I mean, the number could be 20, 30%. We have no idea, but it's definitely a large number, right? It's multi-million shares that are short. When we go on shortsqueeze.com, right, we're seeing the average volume here, 1.3 million. It traded 177,000 today, relatively low volume. To cover about 6 million shares would definitely take some time. I think it would have a huge surge on the price. So it's definitely something that you want to make note of. Before we get into the charts, let me know in the section below, have you traded any other names during the meme stock era? There was Coase, Naked, BlackBerry, Nokia, Kodak, Lumber Liquidators, Big Lots, Kohl's, AMC, GME, a bunch of names that went absolutely parabolic. Did you make any insane returns? Were you a part of any other meme stocks? Let me know in the section below. I think way too many people are sleeping on the other names. They're only focused on AMC and GME, which is great, but all of these names are pretty much bunched in the same category on the same algo, getting absolutely destroyed, manipulated, almost like in a stranglehold where they just won't let the stock breathe. It's just on a consistent downtrend, no green days for multiple years. This is absolutely horrible and why I believe there is a much larger short number behind the scenes. We know all of these stocks got tokenized, parked away, put in CDOs, and crazy things that we can't even imagine, these sort of packages. So again, I always like to focus on the money where that's flowing, and institutions are well positioned years in advance. This is 2018, 2019, taking years and years to buy everything at a dollar, dollar 50. Bam, they blast it up all-time high to $60. They make a living and a killing all the way up, loaning the stock out hundreds of percents in borrow fees to funds that are short, to players that are getting blown up. They have no choice but to borrow the stock to try. But again, they're absolutely dead. Then they rinse it all the way down. They make a living and a killing up and down. And then they trade with the volatility, manipulate it, whatever you want to call it. And what I believe is happening with all these other names, AMC, GME, DJT, Coase, Beyond Meat, all of those, they're just accumulating everything. Again, this took, let's say 3 to 5 years. They were buying this. It could even be way longer, right? And again, here we are, 3 to 4 years of just again accumulating at two, three, four, $5. Who's to say that they don't step on the gas and take this to 15, 25, 35, 50? Who knows, right? They could do another big move and make another living and a killing, have people chase the stock, and then again, rinse and repeat it back down. It would not shock me in the least bit. Again, Wall Street does not care about right now. They care about years down the line. They want to, again, take all their risk off the table. So if that's a huge squeeze, they exit, they take all that risk off, they short it back down. Again, there is zero risk in their portfolio. That is the goal. Now, when you look at the chart here, you see consistency between these two trend lines, and it's sort of like this descending wedge, but I don't want to get too technical, right? All we're seeing is consistent touch points. Every time it touches the top trend line going back to 2021, 2022, it has rejected. And then same thing on the opposite, when it's touched the bottom of the trend line, typically that's where support is or it bounces, right? There's some demand at this level. So we're sort of caught between two specific lines. That's what we're observing here. And then more importantly is this massive, massive rip here on the weekly and sort of flagging out, which again is our bull flag. And we're looking to really get on the north side here of 579, 580. And as we zoom in a little bit more on the daily, you could really see this bull flag starting to play out. I don't know if this is a false break or it's a breakout and retest of the trend line before going. Again, I have no idea how the week's going to end. My personal opinion is that market makers are going to crush the stock and destroy the calls going into the end of the week, just to, again, really stick it to retail. I don't think things are just going to rip for the next 3 days. I could be completely wrong. I would hope that is the case. Then we could see some nice momentum for Kodak. But odds are, this is probably going to be a little bull trap, kind of comes and trickles down. And then a few weeks from now, I think we'll probably get that curl and push once everything settles, once they crush the calls in the IV and everything resets, because they definitely were caught off guard this week, no doubt. But again, I could be wrong on my time frame, right? It's very possible we just have an insane momentum week and, things start to pop off, and that would be awesome. Okay, definitely something to take a look at in the options chain. I like to look, definitely months in advance, right? I'm not looking to play anything short term. It's got to be a minimum, 6 months. So look to maybe January of 25s or, even deeper for that on Kodak. But the setup really is there. Again, let me know in the comments section below. Do you think there is a massive short brewing in all of these names, not just Kodak, not just AMC, that it's all across the board in multiple different names? I think it's all one big system. It's all controlled, it's all manipulated. And I guess we could really prove it by, again, just going on the daily chart. I mean, AMC here and GME, they're all the same, right? They all moved exactly the same today, right? GME, COS, right? Beyond, right? Hood, right? There's just a ton of them. BlackBerry, right? They're all the same stock essentially, right? That's just how it is. I don't know why that's the case. I don't know why they're all in sync, but there's definitely a handful of names that are all manipulated, I think, highly, highly shorted going back multiple years. And now they're starting to let out that compression. They're starting to breathe a little bit. And we can see how quick it goes off. Really no news, no volume, just sentiment. And again, I would say just stopping that selling pressure. Once the selling stops, look at how nice these stocks perform. They really start to breathe, they start to run, and they look healthy, honestly. So I believe it's a whole big game. I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, but I could spend hours and hours talking. That is my quick breakdown again of Kodak stock, ticker KODK. Again, if you guys are enjoying the content, loving that we're staying one step ahead, if you're making money with us, any of the above, let me know in the section below. We just opened up the Discord. If you're looking to join, go check out my Twitter. It is posted live there. You could send me a message. YouTube does not allow links here, so I cannot post it below. But again, we love the energy. We love to welcome any new member that wants to learn, that keeps an open mind and is able to be active in our group. We are really killing it, one step ahead, very humbly saying it. We got GME before Roaring Kitty, $18 went all the way to 80, 344% rip. Robinhood gave you 100% call out. AMC, another 100% call out. Again, everything is looking up from here. The sentiment, the hype, the vibes, it's amazing. I want to keep this energy going. And again, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me. Have a fantastic night. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.